I work with a 17th century plaster technique called Scagliola. It's traditionally used to imitate marble and precious stones in the past.
I think it was originally a way of sort of recreating a kind of marble, when marble was obviously maybe beyond people's means at the time.
I came across the technique a few years ago. I studied in Italy. It's a very secretive process. There's a lot of experimenting with pigments and ratios of glues. Over time, trial and error, talking to other experts, I've picked up the material and the processes. I tried to take it in a new direction.
I've known Chris Wall a long time. He was a designer at Duffy London for 5 years, and we remained in touch. We're always throwing back and forth different ideas and projects that we could work together on.
Since starting my own work and the work that I do, I just thought it's a perfect combination of his playful designs with my colourful, unusual material.
So the concept for the Kronos table is basically we're just working with algorithms where we're sort of working with the computer and that to sort of come up with different forms and shapes, and as it's making them like in real time, that we sort of pick and choose and stop and sort and then create these kind of forms. So the Kronos is like the timing of where we stop the program at certain points and the forms that it lands on.
So the idea was to then take that as a base and then explore colours and patterns that was almost extraterrestrial.
I wanted to pick colours and finishes that were marble in style, but in colour and vibrancy, something that maybe couldn't be found in the natural world. I love the technique that goes into Scagliola. I love the sort of the work and the craftsmanship. It's incredibly labour intensive.
Each stage is meticulous. You start off with weighing out the powder, the plaster. It's then mixed with special glues, and then you're adding pigments at certain ratios and percentages to get the colourways you want. Once this is done, you're adding and you're mixing with the glue to create different consistencies, and then merging those together to form different patterns. The design was created by Chris. It's then sent over to me as a 3D model. We then formed a 3D mold from that model using a 3D printer, and each section was 3D printed, which we then cast into. And then you're letting it go off. It goes very hard, but when it's coming fresh out of the mold, it's full of holes. Then it's the long process of filling in and then sanding, filling, sanding until you achieve a high gloss finish similar to marble. And it's all done by hand, which I think adds to the beauty of the material and the craft. Once the piece is finished, it will be sent back to Chris, and then the piece will be assembled and there'll be a nice glass table placed on top.
We're using the most cutting edge 3D CAD designs in AI to come up with the forms and the shapes, and then we're colliding that with a 17th century craftsmanship and sort of secretive ways of producing these kind of finishes.
The beauty of Scagliola that sets it apart from marble is that you can create patterns and colours that aren't found in nature. I've not seen anything like this.
It's a beautiful coffee table. We recently showed it at the London Design Festival. It completely stole the show.
To create something that people stop by and question, okay, what is this? What's this made of is the way forward for me. I do enjoy working by myself, but to have that second opinion or to have someone like Chris to work with is fantastic.
And of course, we're sort of planning on many new projects and ideas and things that we'll be working on together in the future.